Okay, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see how to run unit root tests in eViews. We use two conventional methods. This is an eView 9 environment, and we have our data already imported into the eView. For videos on how to import data, check on my previous videos on how to import data, easiest way to import data. So to take a test for unit root test, you understand that unit root test is very important in any secondary data. There is need to confirm the stationarity properties of time series. So we will use this data that has already been imported into the eView. You double click, say next, then finish. No, the data is here. Then we have in our data, we have the budget deficit, we have employment rate, we have GDP, we have inflation, we have interest rate, and money supply. And the year ranges from 1991 to 2022. That's about 32 observations. So for you to run unit root test, you move to quick, go to series statistics, come to unit root test, you open. Then we want to test want to start with budget deficit. We type the name BOD, click OK. Here you have another dialog box open. Here we have different types of unit root tests. We have the augmented Dicky, the Philip Perron, and all the rest of them, NG Perron. You have any one you want to use, but for this video we will use augmented Dicky. Then we test at level, first difference and second difference. Here is information criteria. Under the information criteria, we have Akaike information criteria, Swazi information criteria, Harlequin, and all the rest of them. Then you select whether to run it at intercept, trend or intercept, or none. So we are choosing Akaike for information criteria, and we click OK. This is the result. This is the result. The result is showing that budget deficit is not stationary at level. Seeing that the augmented Dicky statistic is not significant and is more positive, is positive greater than all the significant levels at 1%, at 5%, at 10%, they are not significant. So in that case, we need to take the first difference of budget deficit. To do that, we move to view, come to unit root test, then first difference. Leave everything the way it is normal, click OK. Even at first difference, it is not yet stationary because the probability is still not less than 0.05, and the augmented Dicky statistic is still positive. Looking at every other critical criteria, all this at 1%, 5%, 10%, it is not stationary. So we move on to check the second difference. At second difference, the augmented Dicky statistics is now less than all these critical values. At 10%, 1%, and 5%, it is stationary. It is integrated. And when you look at the probability, it is less than 0.05. So that is it for budget deficit. We can see budget deficit is integrated, is stationary after the second difference. We move to take another variable. Let's take employment rate. Employment rate at level is not stationary also. Is not stationary. Seeing that the augmented Dicky statistics is greater than these values in terms of in absolute terms, and the probability is greater than 0.05. So we move on to test for the first difference. At first difference, it is still not. So there's something we need to check. We need to check if we can test it at trend. At trend is the result is better. So we move on to check the second difference. The second difference, it becomes stationary. So that is how you continue with other variables. Let's check inflation. Let's check inflation. Okay, let's check it at level. At level, inflation is not also stationary. Let me check if everything is well stated. Okay. At level is not stationary. It has unit root test. So we differentiate. At first difference, inflation becomes stationary after first difference. After the first difference, inflation becomes stationary. So that is how you continue with all the variables. Let me show you another way of doing this. The simplest and easiest way of doing this, let's use maybe GDP. Double click on GDP. The variable will open. Go to view here. Come to unit root test. Let's test at level. Everything is fine. You see, GDP is not has unit root test, so we move on to differentiate. Check the first difference. At first difference is still not good. We move to second difference. It becomes better. So GDP is also stationary after the second difference. That is how we take unit root test of variables in eViews. So it is necessary before running your analysis to test the stationarity properties of your variables. Thank you very much. In the next video, we will see you need to test with structural breaks